I would like to call the meeting of the Sanborn Regional School Board to order at 6:04 p.m. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Oh, actually, the kiddos are doing the pledge.
Yeah, we're gonna run there.
Yeah. In a second. We don't want to ruin their.
Come on up, we're gonna leave.
And then Mr. Larkham, if after they do the pledge, could we just have a minute and then have them come back up and do their presentation?
Yep.
I need to take care of something really quickly first.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Ready? I'll lead us, so I gotta listen for you. Right there. Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay. So I'm going to ask the board if they are okay with making a quick modification to the agenda. I'm going to request that we move up the student council members report. She is a field hockey player and a lot happened today. And so after she does her report, I'd like to let her go and process. If that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. And Bob,
For being here, Summer. You don't have to be, so thank you.
yeah, and she knew she didn't have to, but she still wanted to be able to give her report. So I
And
really
you take care of yourself as well.
Yeah. Thanks. And Bob, if you would like to.
Yeah. Earlier today, we learned of the unexpected passing of our middle school field hockey coach, Jim Stefanelli. He joined our program last year alongside his daughter, Christiana, who was a member of the Sanborn field hockey family, was coaching our team, doing an internship in my office at the same time. And I got to know Jim during that time. He was fairly clueless about coaching field hockey when he started, but he learned very fast. He bought his own stick. He had a tremendous enthusiasm. And one of those people who I looked at and said, why couldn't you be a teacher? He was a postal worker for, I believe, 30 years, had retired about a year and a half before that. And the reason I would have loved to have seen him teach was he had just this glue with kids. He instantly bonded with kids. They trusted him. They liked him. They respected the heck out of him. And his joy, his enthusiasm, his love for just working with kids. He just was one of those people who you wish had gotten into it earlier. And losing him from our family is just devastating news today. Not nearly as much for us as it is for his family. And I would ask if we could all take a moment of silence in the memory of Jim Stefanelli. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Summer, if you are able to.
Yeah, student council. Whoa. So we did the we did the 12 days of caring. So
It's okay.
I just need a second.
If you can't, it's okay. It's okay.
You're good.
It's all right. It's okay. Summer, go take care of yourself. Okay, huh? Right. We would like to call the elementary school students back up for their presentation. They can bring a little bit of, I'm sure, light and laughter back into the room.
Yes, all right. Well, thank you for having us. Your memorial, we have four fourth grade students who are members of the student council. here at Memorial, and there are 4 of our strong leaders here. So they're here to kind of give us an update what's going on with Memorial, what student council's going on, and as 4th graders, what they've been learning throughout the year, as they've been busy doing that. So we do have Audrey, we have Brody, we have Jacob, and we have Jules here who are going to speak upon a couple things. So thank you for this time. So first off, we have Brody who's going to kind of talk about what has student council been working on. So nice, loud and proud there, leader.
All right. Our student council has been very busy doing awesome things for our school. We started a fun and healthy competition between grade levels to see which class can donate the most items for the memorial food drive. All of the donated items will be given to people living at Packer Meadows. Thank you to everyone who has donated. Your kindness has really made a difference. Student council has also held a popcorn fundraiser. On special days, students can bring in $1 and enjoy a bag of popcorn. It was a fun and tasty way to support student council activities. We also planned a holiday spirit week, coming up with fun and festive themes for each day. It was great to see everyone dress up, have fun, and show their school spirit.
All right, thanks, Brody. And what was today, Brody? For what was the Spirit Day?
Oh, it was either a Christmas sweater or an ugly
Okay,
sweater.
that's why I have a sweater on. Right? For clarification.
We thought you just wanted to be extra
All right,
festive tonight.
Yeah. And hey, Brody, do we get an update on what grade levels win that competition?
I think it's
5th grade maybe, but we're gonna get the final standings tomorrow. Perfect. All right. All right. So Audrey, so what's been happening here at Memorial?
It's been a super fun and busy time at Memorial School. Last week, our band and chorus students put on an amazing winter concert. They worked very hard and did a great job sharing their music with families and friends. We're excited to share that Board Games Club will start after holiday break. This club gives students a fun way to play games, work together, and practice being good teammates after school. Homework club is happening after school on Mondays and Thursdays. There will be time. There's still time to join. Students can get help stay organized and have a quiet time to finish their work. School spirit was everyone's. Wait, what? School spirit was everyone everywhere during our 3-on-3 student versus staff basketball game. The students won the game, and the fun didn't stop there. Principal Larkham and art teacher Mrs. Peets even got slimed, which made everyone cheer and laugh. Finally, we had fun celebrating the 67th day of school, marking another milestone in our learning journey together.
All right, thank you. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about what 4th grade's been learning about. So we have Jules, right? You're coming up talking about ELA.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is 4th grade learning about in English language arts? 4th grade has been busy growing their reading and writing skills in CKLA this year. At the beginning of the year, students wrote personal stories about their own lives. They practiced putting their ideas in order, adding details, and sharing special moments that are important to them. Then students took a trip back in time to learn about the Middle Ages, and they learned about the Islamic Empire and the Roman Empire, as well as kings and queens. They discovered how people lived and traded and worked together long ago. Most recently, 4th graders have been diving into poetry. They are learning about different kinds of poems, fun word tricks like figurative language, rhythm, and how poets use words to share feelings. And ideas in creative and exciting ways. We made many poems and learned about poetic devices while also reading and pulling apart poetry. We are excited to dive into our Inventors unit coming up after break. Happy holidays.
Nice. All right, last one, we have Jacob going to talk about mathematics. What's been going on in math, Jacob?
4th graders have been working hard and having fun learning. They are learning all about place value to understand how big numbers are and what each digit means. Students are getting better and faster at adding,
subtracting big numbers, which help them solve problems with confidence. They are also learning how to multiply 1 and 2-digit numbers and divide by 1 digit. These new skills are helping them become strong problem solvers and math stars.
All right. Well, thank you, fourth grade leaders, for coming up and sharing some stuff about Memorial. You worked hard. You do have this. Hopefully, everyone has a copy. If you didn't, we can get you one. It's something that we kind of collectively put together. All right. So thank you for your time.
Thank
you.
Say your normal.
You want to
Yeah. You're welcome to head home if you don't want to stick around for the rest of the boring meeting. You will not offend us if the kiddos take off.
That was the funnest part right there.
Right? I know, right? That was the best part. Sometimes I wish we could save it for a little later to kind of jazz things up a little.
Justin, you have to stay. Rough.
Really great.
Day fourth grade.
I know.
Molly told me, she goes, oh, my friends are going to be at the board.
Thanks for being here, guys. You did awesome. Thank you.
There you guys.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Good job.
All right. So next on the agenda, presentation by the Budget Committee in reference to the warrant articles. Dr. Brown.
Good evening, board members.
Evening.
I'll just give you a status report on our budget committee work. Looks like we're going to have another meeting to settle on an appropriation number for 2027. But just to let you know what we've been doing to prepare for an appropriation number, our committee toured all Sanborn school buildings to understand facilities needs with Director Doyle in July and August. And Dan experienced growth in his regional fan club numbers at that time. We requested and reviewed projected enrollment numbers, examined current 2025 October enrollment numbers for each grade, and reviewed sizes of all class sections for our high school courses. We had meetings with administrators for updates on curriculum, course offerings and special education, Sanborn's class size policy, New Hampshire statutes regarding strive for class size levels were also read and reviewed. We compared Sanborn's pupil-teacher ratios to those of surrounding school districts, as well as to the state average. We obtained a complete directory of all staff positions in each building, and we reviewed staffing requests for 2027, including classroom teachers, support staff, and administrative positions. Best practices and industry standards for staffing a school district of Sanborn size were also reviewed. And I have copies of the data we reviewed if anyone would like those. Those are also included in our minutes. We also reviewed the superintendent, i.e. board's expenditure requests and the operating budget history and patterns of unassigned ending balances and unexpended amounts returned to taxpayers. The committee looks like it'll be meeting again for another vote very soon. We had discussed at several of our meetings the idea of warrant articles to create cushions for unexpected expenses. The committee understands that there are risks motivating the board to request large budgets, maintain per pupil spending levels, which are $2,000 above the state average, and maintain sizable unexpended balances. The known risks being aging facilities, the unknown risk being special ed. The committee discussed removing facilities projects from the operating budget and having those funds sought through warrant articles. For example, a general increase in the district's capital improvement and maintenance reserve fund, with a second warrant article to increase special ed expendable trust fund. I did notice at our last meeting, there were quite a few remarks about collapsing roofs and caving in and structures failing. We also heard repeatedly that voters will not pass warrants when perhaps it is the board that needs to outline a specific plan for our facilities, one that motivates voters to support them. The committee is pleased with the progress the district has made in reforming the curriculum and achieving gains in math and reading. We thank everyone at Sanborn, including our dedicated parents. Enrollment declines, the challenge of all New Hampshire districts, to maintain excellent service while adjusting facilities and programs is ongoing. Sanborn has done this successfully over time, and we're confident the process will continue, along with pursuing collaborations with surrounding districts. And stay posted for our next meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
I want to make a clarifying point to one of the things that Dr. Brown said about warrant articles. And the board has been very clear about this in the past. I just want to reiterate the reason that the board does not put things that could impact actually educating our students and having them in the buildings, like heating systems and roofs on warrant articles, is because if for some god awful reason the vote did not pass at the polls, we cannot fund that item, whether the money is there in an emergency fund or not. If the taxpayers say no at the polls at a warrant article, we cannot fund it. So if we have a roof that is on a warrant article and for some reason it narrowly doesn't pass and we have a roof failure, I don't know what we do. It really makes it hard to educate students if you have a roof that fails. If you have furnaces, boilers that fail, and you can't have students in the building and you have a failure, you have to wait until the next round of voting or the next budget to either put it in or put it onto warrant articles. So just to clarify why the board has not put those types of items on in the past, and I don't know that you'll see the board, I can't speak for future boards, but I don't know that you'll see future boards put them on as warrant articles. Because those are critical to everyday education. So making sure our students can be in the buildings.
Yeah, and I think just for clarification, I heard it twice tonight now. And thanks to Dan. Dan, thanks for getting me electricity. Always at work. Thanks to Dan's efforts and custodial staff at this school and the other schools, we have a pretty good, very aged infrastructure. But what we don't have are the funds to support it. I believe, Dan, 1.5 million roughly for the siding on the building.
That's a good
Rough estimate that we're not doing anything with. 1.5 million to replace the failed siding. On is out of business. But we're not doing anything with that right now, Pam. 200,000 for a heating unit that's failed twice now. We just patched it again. The coil is 100,000 to replace a coil on a 20-year unit, or 200,000. And if that goes down, that is no heat in the building for that section. Fire alarm system in this building hasn't been upgraded since 2013. I wasn't on the board here and I didn't live here, but we are going to do that now. And we have a very clear capital improvement plan. So when you say there's no plan, I take offense because of the work that this gentleman has done with the staff, and it's available and we update it every meeting.
Just doesn't include closing buildings. That's why.
Oh yeah, our plan doesn't include closing buildings.
That's why people don't like.
That takes community involvement. It does, contrary to belief, it does take actual, for us to have a seated superintendent. We would probably want them engaged in that process. We have an interim superintendent when we're very near that final, we'll go over that tonight, but the board is discussing all these things. That's all I have.
All right. Next agenda item, action. Do I have action on the minutes for December 3rd, 2025?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you, Ken.
And we got to do.
I didn't realize you were on the call. All right. So we have Ken Hamilton joining us live from Ken. Where are you?
In Newton, New Hampshire.
In Newton, New Hampshire. He is unable to be here in person tonight. Ken, can you just state if there is anyone in the room with you?
Do 3 dogs count?
No, we're talking about people.
Nope.
All right.
A lot of ways more than
Yes, we will have to roll call vote now. Thank you, Rick.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so
We revote that.
We will revote it with a roll call. So Heather,
Yes.
I am a yes. Rick?
Yes.
Maura?
Yes.
Yes.
Micah? Jeremiah?
Abstain.
Abstention.
I was-
Okay. And then Ken, you were,
Yeah. Yes.
thank you. Okay. All right. That is taken care of. Manifest documents are right there. I just
Yep.
finished signing them. No nominations, no resignations. So we will move on to the superintendent's reports.
Once I find it again, I just,
All right. Thank you.
oh, I got it.
Yours, just go on.
Yes. Good. Okay. Just a couple of quick things. We've had cookies and coffee by parent groups and so forth going around the building as we head toward vacation. We have 2 school days remaining before a lovely 2-week vacation. And looking at next year's calendar a little bit over the last week or so, don't get used to that, folks. I'll just give you a heads up. It's not my calendar to approve, but I'm just telling you what's going to happen. More than likely. We did have a little bit of a health situation that we were concerned about yesterday, particularly at the high school. I think it's become public knowledge now that there was a closure of Ellis School in Fremont yesterday due to a flu outbreak there. We had a somewhat of an uptick in our absences here, but we did some proactive measures to wipe down desks and so forth using our incredible stockpile of wipes. I think we have pallet loads of wipes around and got need. Way to go, Dan. So we were able to get that implemented and remind kids about hand washing, and our attendance has returned to fairly close to what we'd expect for normal today. It wasn't that much higher yesterday. I want to thank our music staff, K through 12, for some amazing concerts. I did attend a couple of those in the last week or so, and they were wonderful events, very, very well attended. The memorial concert was practically a sellout, which was really, really great to see. And so props to the music staff for the amazing work they do with our kids. Last couple of days of school have really seen a lot of spirited kids around the building, a lot of weird looking sweaters and other things going on in the building. And that's always kind of fun for the kids as they head off to vacation. I wanted to let you know that we just initiated in the last couple of days the trial run of the ClassWise software for keeping an eye on kids during class and what they're doing with their computers. And that's underway, and we'll have a bigger update on that. It's going very well so far, but it's like 2 days of data, so that's not a whole lot that's been going on. We have, as last count that I checked, 114 students playing our winter sports. Basketball started this past week. Both teams right now are 1-1 on the season. And so they'll go on. They have games this week, and they play next Tuesday, and then have tournaments over Christmas vacation. They'll be playing up at Derryfield. And our track team's rolling. I'm sure they've had a meet by now, but we have 114 high school kids playing and 55 kids playing just basketball at the middle school level, which is wonderful. And cheer. I always forget our cheer kids, so apologies to them. Did want to point out Summer did have a need to leave, but we did find out this week that she has been selected as the DAR Good Citizen Award for the Exeter chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. That awards this honor to one senior who exemplifies the qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism, and that definitely describes her. As this year's recipient, Summer will be recognized at the DAR Spring event and will receive a certificate, a pin, and a financial award to help her with what I believe is a future college plan for her. So she's a pretty darn wonderful kid.
Awesome. Congratulations, Summer. All right. We will move on. Do we have any subcommittee reports tonight?
Yes, I'll kick it off, Micah. Yep. The Facilities and Finance Subcommittee met this evening. We discussed a lot of needed and necessary and required upgrades that are either in the process of happening that Dan and the team are in the middle of executing, things that are about to be executed, like the Bakey fire alarm is being started this week. The principal did a great job announcing that, sending that message out to the community. We talked about the Siemens LED update and where that project is at, and the building envelope that process is beginning. I believe that at the Bakey School. That's correct. Great. The Memorial. Thank you, Dan. Over at Memorial.
Envelope.
The envelope, and that is happening as an early Christmas present to us here at Sanborn. So thank you, Sam. And a few other items that we walked through, the gym roof. And the last thing that we did want to talk about, Rick, already a little bit of a spoiler on the rooftop unit over at Memorial for that one?
Here.
The rooftop?
No,
The
it's here.
single.
Here.
Bakey. That's what I said, Bakey.
What?
Over at Bakey.
How many rooftop units?
I know.
One
Jeremiah, I'm
right up there.
Golly.
Every building has an envelope.
Yes, but only some have multiple rooftop units. This one's Bakey. So the discussion on hand is, I'm actually going to turn it to Mike.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's not Bakey though.
no, we're talking about this building. The rooftop units. So we have our friends from Siemens here. And we, in our finance and facility subcommittee meeting, voted to approve to bring to the whole board the idea that we should do an engineering study, which is required to replace those units, the rooftop units on this building. Now, what I was expressing in that meeting that I'll express now is that I think it would be unwise of us to get too in the weeds on the project itself. All we really need to know right now is that that project is going to have to get done. It's going to be expensive, right? These rooftop units are all aging out. They're all already old. We're spending manageable money right now, band-aiding them here and there. But at some point, it's going to be a massive project, either all at once or spread out in batches or whatever. Either way, it's massive and unavoidable. So, but we don't want to get into the too much of the details of that. What we really want to talk about is to act on it at all. At any point, we have to have an engineering study done, right?
To put one unit up there.
To put anything up there, to put one unit up there, just because of the weight, all the things, right? So what we voted to bring to this board tonight was the approving of
For us to enter into
a contract.
enter into a previously approved contract by the attorney. We would send it back to the attorney because there's a change. The original contract said the plans are roughly, I think they're about $100,000 that we would not be out of pocket. We would have up to 10 years to enter into a rooftop plan with Siemens. So unlike the other issue where we had, if we didn't move forward with bank, we now have 10 years. Siemens was in our meeting and publicly stated that they would be willing to amend that 10 years if we needed to at a later date. So basically, they paid for the study, which we are going to need. I said it earlier. It's $100,000 to replace a coil on this unit. It's $200,000 to replace the whole unit. And at 15 years plus, you're just throwing good money on a bad unit. So you replace the whole unit. So for us to put one unit up there, we need the study anyway. So, and Dan, if you want to come up and speak to how you've been patching the coils and, it may not, well, I just want to make sure everybody understands. There was numbers thrown out last time about 11 and $12 million to replace all the rooftop units. That's not what we're talking about. We asked Dan to come back to us and say, what has the 5-year spend been to nurse these units along, right? Considering that they're how old? 20 years old?
They're 21.
21 years old. Dan came back to us and said it's about $25,000 a year. It was $106,000 over 5 years. And our response was, yeah, the taxpayers could probably live with that, not 11 or $10 million. So we're going to continue to nurse them along. Now you can talk about the unit that may need to be replaced in the near future, which comes to the point where we're saying one way or another, we need the study done. We're not saying we want to replace all the rooftop units, but us to even go up there and replace one, you have to have the study done. Sorry, Dan, go.
Yeah, so basically what took place over the last couple of weeks over in the 100-200 hallway of our high school here, we have a single rooftop unit that heats that whole wing. And we had a hole develop in the coil and leaked into the rooftop unit and through our ceiling on the second floor, flooded the second floor. We had to relocate a couple classes. There was some damage to the ceiling. It didn't bleed into the first floor, which we were lucky on that. We caught it in time. We were able to fix that hole in the coil, and then 2 days later, we had 3 more holes develop in that coil. And these coils they're 8 foot by 8 foot. They're huge, and they're made out of thin-walled copper. And after time, the mineral in the water erodes the inside of these coils and you get these little pinholes. Thank goodness these started leaking during our school hours. If this were to take place on a Friday night or on a weekend with no one here, we would have came back to some major water damage in this building. So if there's good timing for it to happen, it happened at a good time and we're able to catch them early. The problem we're having is when you look at this coil, it looks like someone took a shotgun and shot holes in this coil, and you lose efficiency every time you scrape away at the fins in this coil. So it's a temporary fix. This is the first unit that is starting this. I would expect this to start happening with multiple units eventually on this rooftop. It's just a matter of time. I wish I had a crystal ball and I could make that prediction, but I just can't. We did check the pH in the water. The pH water is actually very good. So we know it's not the water, but because of the pH level, a lot of precipitates come out of the water and the minerals will float within the piping and etch at the inside of the pipe. So that's what we have going on in that piping system now. So if we were to just replace that coil, it's well over $100,000. It would mean bringing in a crane and basically doing the work as if we're replacing a whole rooftop unit. So bringing Siemens on board is a big plus. Let's get the engineering study. Let's get it done. If we have to replace a unit, we can act on it quickly. Unfortunately, the turnaround time on these units is somewhere between 10 and 15 weeks. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping we can get through the winter here without anything major happening, because if it does, obviously we won't have heat in that wing. And that's why it's very important that we do a lot of preventative maintenance on this so we're not faced with that predicament during the winter months. So that's kind of where we're at right now with it. We're just kind of helping it along. We're going to see where the other ones come out at this, and we're going to put our numbers together here. And when there's going to be a point where we're going to have to just say enough is enough and it's time to move on with new units.
So for the good of the rest of the board and anybody watching or listening, what changed between last time we met and we said, yep, we're going to continue to limp these things along, to today? Because that was my question. What has changed since what we just decided a month ago and today? And what changed was this rooftop unit. So now we're staring at $100,000 bill. That's just for the coil. So now we're going, okay, the engine in the car went. Are we going to get rid of it now, or are we going to wait? And we can't wait anymore. So that's what's changed. And so what this allows us to do is this allows us to get the study done. And this allows us till 2035. Does that number check? Yeah. 2035 to even execute one of these rooftop units to get that engineering study rolled into the cost. So again, not out of pocket right now. And as long as we engage in some form of project, even if it's one rooftop unit before 2035, which we're already looking at one in the very near term, that gets rolled in. So that's where we're at.
Very low risk.
So the question today is just, are we good entering into the engineering study? And before we say sign off on that, the attorney will look at that, and then we would authorize Marie to sign once the attorney says yay or nay. So that's where we're at.
And the attorney's already reviewed it. It's the 10 weeks has been
just
added.
an edit.
So it's in our favor.
Yeah.
I suggested sending it back just to make sure.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, thank you for clarifying, because I was like, we just talked about this.
I know. That's what I said, Heather. So what has changed?
Today, right?
Okay. So before we
And-
have,
I'm sorry. I just want to say too, this doesn't necessarily change our philosophy about how we want to treat these units. If we keep on having small problems, we can continue to patch them and nurse them along, right? This just gives us the option to move quicker if something bad happens.
And I'm sorry, how long does this study take? Because that was concerning too.
Yeah.
Right.
How,
Days, and then it's just a matter of getting it priced. So drawings will be done in 60 days.
Yeah. Okay.
and what is the cost of the study if we were not to move forward with
$100,000.
100,000? Thank
Yep.
you. Same as the,
Yep.
Is that 60 calendar days or 60 business days?
okay. And my last question, this is not Siemens' question. When we have things that are this expensive, we have a policy where we have to go to bid. Has anybody looked into the legality of that?
Yep. So I asked this question to Siemens, and please jump in if I misstate. I said this is going to be a question that pops up. So if we enter into this contract with Siemens, and how do we know that we couldn't get a better price on a rooftop unit from Joe's rooftop unit? And the response is that, well, Siemens is not actually providing the actual rooftop unit. They're the general contractor. So what they are going to do on our behalf, which Dan can be intimately engaged in if he would like to, they will be getting multiple bids and utilizing best pricing. And even if the district says, we like Joe's rooftop unit, we want them to get the business, Dan has that ability to give that input. So they're acting as our general contractor, not the single source that's providing.
Thank you. That's good clarification, because I just want to make sure that we're not doing something that then puts us in jeopardy.
100%.
Getting in trouble because we didn't do the right thing.
I agree with you, Don. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
The other thing my staff is doing is we're creating a spreadsheet with every rooftop unit, and we're starting to tally each one individually so we can find out which ones are our problem ones and the ones we may have to address first.
Yep.
So that's one thing we're doing is we're breaking it down rather than the whole high school. We're actually breaking down each rooftop unit because some are acting up and some are running just perfectly fine. So if the time comes where we have to replace one, it may be better to do maybe 2 or 3 at that time because of the crane costs and everything else. And we'll isolate those 3 and find out which ones we're going to do, or 2, or however we want to handle that. So we're looking at it that way also.
Yeah.
I will say I'm very impressed with the way that the facilities has been moving. I think this district for a long time did not create lists and spreadsheets and look at these things. So thank you, Dan. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate
Thank you.
Yeah, this is Ken. I have a question for clarification.
Yeah, Ken, thank you.
Is it one study for one roof and all units? Or if another unit goes 3 years from now, is it another study?
It's for all the units on the roof at one time
At the high school.
at the high school.
And the plans are good for how long?
That was my next question.
Yeah, the plans are good forever unless there's some technology change that.
I mean, given code changes that happen, anywhere from 6 months to 6 years,
Well, I mean, even
okay.
and even the units, if we decide to do this in 8 years, 9 years, the units are going to be different at that point anyway.
Correct.
There's going to have to be some stuff, but the engineering that is designed to support whether or not the roof can support it, distribution, the cubic,
Well, it'll be all
the
weight
loads,
bearing, all the loads, everything.
whatever.
Another stupid question. Wasn't that done originally? If the study's good forever, the building was permitted 20 years ago. Weren't all those load studies done when they put the roof units on originally?
Don't we have that?
Well, absolutely, they were done, but codes have changed, energy usage has changed for those units, efficiency has changed.
But if we're talking about load and all that, that wouldn't change.
No, but the way they set on the roof, different sizes. So if you have to make a smaller hole, you now have to, patch the roof area where that hole is. There's different power loads for these things. If we do want to move forward and expand on these units to air condition, and that will be into consideration. And like I said, the big thing is codes. There's a ton of code issues that take place and code changes when this happens.
So if we
Am I
have
wrong and
So that's kind of my concern is whatever invalidates what was done 20 years ago is going to invalidate what was done today, 10 years from now.
So I think what Ken is saying is if we already have all of that information somewhere, can that be utilized? And correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, but can that be utilized and maybe cut down on the cost?
Well, we've already presented Siemens with our overall blueprint package of the building already. So they've used a lot of that information when the building was originally built for their takeoffs in the bidding process for this. So yes, they are using that old information, but once again, equipment has changed over the last 20 years.
I just don't want the district.
Sorry, hold on. Ken's trying to talk. All right, Ken. Yeah, sorry. What were you saying?
I just don't want the district 5 or 10 years from now to be told they need another engineering study because X, Y, and Z have changed.
Yes, I understand your question. So what Siemens is saying is that for 10 years, we are willing to make any sort of updates such as code changes to them. We're going to do an engineering study that meets today's energy codes and standards with today's available equipment. And as long as you continue to do the project with Siemens. If we have to make small changes to, a certain equipment has been updated, then we will do so with no additional cost. The agreement would be this 100,000 for the 10 years.
And you guys have the copy of this agreement?
Yeah, I think Marie has.
I don't have the updated one, do I?
They're gonna,
Yeah.
she can send one now, but they're gonna send a proper one tomorrow with the updated
Yeah,
dates and everything.
10-year language.
So you will be getting that within 24 hours. If you want to see the 24 seconds, there we go. Speed of light, right?
And done. There'll be no signing unless that's the agreement that we talked about, right?
All right, that's why I just.
And
wanna
that
make
was
sure
all
we're
on
not until
camera.
everybody
Yeah.
has a
Yep.
chance to read it. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Ken, I can't see you, so I just want to make sure you didn't have anything else before we continue on.
Not for this discussion, just kind of forward thinking. If all the units are that old, we don't, and none of us want to be hit with a big surprise bill. And maybe we just think about proactively replacing over the next 10 years under the current agreement. We'd rather take $200,000, $400,000 a year over 10 years than one big whopping bill 7 years from now. It's just something to think about.
Yeah, it's something, Ken, it's something that we've been talking about. We sort of, like, to be honest with it, we had initial talks about phased approach because it is obviously less expensive once you have a crane here. And then there's potential damage to the rooftops that the roof is going to have to, be redone. So we have to sort of factor that in. And we sort of tabled it because of that $100,000 over 5-year expense. But now that we're seeing these things beginning to fail, we had classes moved last week with no heat in the building. We're going to talk a little more aggressive about it and be prepared to phase it in if we have to. Right?
Yep. That's my thought or consideration is, to phase it in. So again, 7 years from now, the district's not faced with a big whopping $10 million bill.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
It wasn't palatable today and it won't be palatable 7 years from now either.
It'll be less palatable.
Yep.
I'll Dan that.
Yeah.
We all got to swallow that pill eventually.
All right.
Multiple pills. All right.
Yeah.
That was my last question. Thank you.
So are you looking for a motion?
Yeah.
We're going to make a motion.
Yeah. One of you.
Rick's going to make it.
Oh, all right.
I'll interrupt him again.
Yeah, interrupt me.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll make a motion to for us to approve to enter into an agreement with Siemens pending the legal review to have the engineering study done at no cost to the district for that period of 10 years.
Second.
Discussion. All right, sorry, I thought you just said that we weren't doing anything until everybody reviewed the contract. You want to move it forward without us reviewing the contract?
The attorney's going to review the contract.
Right.
The attorney.
But the board doesn't get to look at
Oh,
it.
sorry.
The
Yeah.
attorney, they already reviewed the contract. We already saw the
But
contract.
the board members don't get to look at the contract.
Fine.
Has the,
Got the copy. I can send it to you guys.
I mean,
Before we enter into an agreement, I just thought it would be,
Yep.
that's why I was asking when we were going to get the
Yep.
contract. And I thought you were saying we didn't have to sign anything right now, but you want a motion to
we could
essentially
say,
sign it.
we could.
I'll
no,
amend my motion. I'll amend my motion.
Pending
to-
board
for us
review.
to, yeah, enter into an agreement with Siemens by December 23rd, pending attorney review and board review of the agreement.
I'll second that amendment.
Thank you.
Okay. My only question is, what if we have board members that review it and then are not on board? Just playing devil's advocate.
that was his pending
That's my pending.
board
Pending.
approval.
Then it doesn't,
Yeah.
We don't have a meeting before December 23rd.
Then it wouldn't get signed.
well, we just keep on rolling the dice.
Okay. So then we
Just
update Marie with any concerns that we potentially have
Yeah.
so that can be tracked.
Yeah. Marie, was the original, the one you showed me in the meeting, was that original one sent around? Did anyone else see that?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I don't believe that.
Nobody on the board.
I
has
just
seen
sent
it.
Because we didn't move it forward.
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't move it forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to be clear, it's been approved by legal.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And
I
the
just-
10 weeks is
Yeah.
10 years, sorry,
Yeah.
10 years,
Yep.
100 years.
Okay.
I just, the reason I would love, as part of discussion, is that where we're at?
Yes.
I would love to, I don't want to express my desire for the board to play it fast and loose with the contract, or to be, to gloss it over and not give it a careful read. However, when I started December 23rd, and then I add 60 for a study, then I add 12 to 15 weeks for a unit, I get scared that winter's coming, right? Like we're here, right? So I would love for us to read it with the understanding that getting the study going is incredibly important, and having it. That's all.
Yeah, and this is not I understand what you're saying, Don, and I respect it. This is not this is not like the LED contract where we were doing something massive because it was execution, and this is literally, it's a page and a half.
Mhm.
It's very short. It's
Okay.
very concise. The
Okay.
only thing that got changed was they gave us more time.
Okay.
Our legal has already looked at it. So there's not much to be objectionable, which is why I said,
Yeah.
if everything that we talked about is in that contract, the attorney says yay, Marie looks at it, she was in that meeting, she says, yes, that's the 10 years, it's exactly what we talked about it. The vote tonight would be to support that. If that we pop in that contract and it says you've got 2 months to execute and it's 300,000 for the study, well, then we don't execute, because that's not what we talked about, right?
Okay. So the motion currently is pending board review,
Legal and board
review.
Legal first. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I would like, if you would be okay with it, I think we could change it to the board, and board members tell me if I'm wrong, but I think we could change that to by end of day, the 19th.
Yeah.
That way,
Fine.
first thing on the 22nd,
Yep.
assuming it all is well, things can move forward.
Yeah.
Is that
It's all,
cool?
yeah.
Yep. That's great, Don.
I'll amend to have everybody review it by would you say end of day,
End
19th?
of day on the 19th.
And we're going to reply to Marie.
We will reply to Marie.
Friday.
That's Friday.
It is very short.
Yeah.
I will second the
Yeah.
amendment, the amended amendment.
Okay. Fantastic.
Actually, like it.
Amended squared.
Phyllis, what do you need? Did you get all of that?
Maura seconded.
Maura did. I just made
No,
a recommendation for an
and-
amendment. So
and-
you made the
yeah.
amendment.
I was trying to keep it easy.
Yeah.
but I was
Amended her second to reflect the changes.
Breezy over.
Clara's heavily engaged today.
She is. All right. Okay. All right. Ken, did you have any further discussion before I move to a roll call vote?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So we will roll call. Heather.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
I am a yes. Rick.
Yes.
Maura.
Yes.
Micah.
Yes.
Jeremiah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Siemens, for sticking around. Appreciate it.
Okay. Are there any other subcommittee reports?
I don't really know so much as support, but the policy committee did meet earlier tonight.
Mhm.
And we have a few things that have been moved forward for first read, which going over shortly.
Okay. All right. So we will move to first public comment. You want to come up, state your name, the town you are from, and if you're not from Newton, Kingston, Newton or Kingston, but you have a student in the district or you are a staff member, just make that known, and you have 5 minutes.
It's 15.
All right. Okay, so it looks like the senior trip proposal has been tabled.
Yep.
All
We
right.
have the high school principal coming to next meeting.
Oh.
She'll present it along with them.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. All right. So warrant articles 25, 26.
I just wanted to walk through
we're sort of trying to prepare the warrant ahead of time. It's the first time through in this process for me. So if I'm completely out of bounds, let me know, but nobody's told me yet. So that's helpful. We've been looking over who is up for, whose positions are up for the election this year. Those are listed at the top of the document. We have one from Kingston, one from Newton, and one at-large position. We also clarified, and Dr. Brown confirmed this list with Phyllis. I think even as much or as early as or as late as just this afternoon. That we have two positions in Kingston. One of them because we had an appointment this recently, and a position from Newton, which was also an appointment for this year. And I think one of those was up anyway. I believe that Newton position was up anyway. Then the articles are listed there. They're just basically pulled them out of our previous reports, the general acceptance of reports. Then the operating budget is there. We may have to adjust those recommendations. That would be a process that we would go through after the deliberative session on the 4th. The Teamsters contract is there. We're hoping to have an agreement on that very soon. So that would be on that item. Then the reconsideration of the Teamsters, if that were to fail, we could have a secondary meeting to authorize that again on a separate vote. And then I did drop in basically 2 capital reserve funds pending the earlier meeting of the budget committee and their presentation here. My anticipation was that they were going to recommend that we increase those amounts. What I basically did is just rounded them all up to $1 million without spending a whole lot of time thinking about exactly what you guys would want to do. Those warrants would have to be approved by you guys to put on there. And that would be a discussion you guys would have to have tonight or at some other time. And then also on the draft there is I just picked one of the other reserve funds and listed it on there just so we'd remember, or at least I would remember, that we might want to look at increasing the amounts in some of those other reserve funds. And I didn't know if you guys had anticipated any other warrant article items that may come up.
I just have a couple questions.
Yeah.
And I was at the BudCon meeting, so just maybe you can help, both of you guys can help.
Yep.
But you were here too, right?
What?
Weren't you at the BudCon meeting?
I was certainly at it.
Yeah. When this came up at the BudCon meeting, whose idea was it to raise these to $1 million?
It was, I don't know whose idea, but they spoke about it quite a bit, like the
BudCon though.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I have to look back about that, but it seems to be a general thesis of many of the BudCon members to push in the direction of warrant articles. I think the fact that it was, what the actual numbers are is not entirely.
Well, I do remember hearing the $1 million. Like there was discussion that I would agree with bringing that fund up to $1 million. And
I think it was related specifically to special ed.
Yeah.
Because there was discussion about, one out of district placement can,
Well, it was mentioned in this room tonight by Pam, Dr. Brown, that if the school board was looking for this. And I don't ever remember talking about this at all.
The school board has not spoken about this. This was brought up at the budget.
Okay.
Meeting
Yeah.
last week?
And I was there. I, as representing the school board, was there and actively maintained that warrant articles were not a great idea because if I quote myself correctly, as was noted by Dr. Brown tonight about roofs caving in, you can't be quibbling with your neighbors about what's important to fund and what's not while kids are getting rained on in the school. Like
I think my point is this, and I just wanted to clarify that, right? Because two things. If I remember correctly, last year we had one sort of warrant article asking for some money because of the teacher's contract. Does that sound correct? Okay. So I just want to say to the public and the people in the room that, being fiscally responsible is of the utmost importance to this board. And I live here, right? And I pay taxes just like you do. And so does everybody here. So we're very conscious of what's going on in our towns. We're very aware of assessments. So we're not we don't come out and ask you to fund and fund and fund. We're trying to be selective. And when I heard earlier that it was referenced that the school board was asking for this, I want to be very clear that I never agreed to ask for $1 million on any of these funds. Do we need money? Yeah, sure. But I think we have to be very selective and discuss it as a board to figure out where our largest needs are and what's realistic based upon the residents of our towns.
The budget committee wanted to increase the funds so it would offset the
Budget.
operating.
Yeah, and I spoke
Well,
to
and
that.
look-
Just dumb idea.
And not only that, if I think it's dumb, and at this point, I have no problem saying that I think it was not genuine. I don't think it was that. I think it was a way to save face for cutting money from the budget when they don't expect those warrant articles to pass anyway.
Yeah.
Like, let's get real here. You all witnessed, many of you witnessed what I witnessed tonight. And if you didn't witness it, you can watch it on YouTube. I don't think anyone's interested in raising funds.
Yeah, you were in.
Okay. But either way,
Yeah.
what I witnessed is what I'm now calling Shakespearean levels of treachery. That they really believe it. It's absurd. I thought somebody was going to pour poison in my ear all of a sudden. Like, it was unbelievable. I was taken aback. I was offended. I didn't think that there was that kind of backhanded stuff that was going to go on in our towns. And now it makes me question everything. It makes me question, oh, you want to raise these funds to $1 million? Do you? Or do you want to put the onus on taxpayers because you know those things will fail at the ballots, and you want to cut the budget to 39 million? That's what I think is going on.
Now, Mikey, you might know something that we don't because you sit there in all those meetings.
Most of them.
I don't.
Some of them.
I'm just curious, and I'm glad, Dawn, you said what you said at the beginning of this meeting about those warrant articles, and if they do fail, then we are unable to appropriate those funds. So I wonder if there's a lack of knowledge, but again, I don't know. I wasn't sitting
I
there.
did have a conversation
Yep.
with Pam prior to the
Yep.
meeting and clarified that point to her
Okay.
prior to this.
Yep.
meeting.
I just think, to my point, I guess what I'm really saying is it's very easy to come up here and say, let's cut the budget. Well, where are we going to get this money? Oh, we'll just put it in warrant articles.
Yes.
Well, realistically, you got a teacher contract that narrowly pass, right? You have other contracts other things that don't pass. And that's the norm. I don't see everybody,
And we've been very, very strong as a board, at least the 5 years that I've been here, that we put very limited warrant articles. Most of the warrant articles are the budget and making sure that we're paying our staff. I have not seen, and ice hockey, because unfortunately we had to fight over ice hockey for God knows how long.
But to Don's point, you can't put something, it's irresponsible to put something on a warrant article that's essential for running the buildings that could fail.
Sure.
And we did try that once. We put windows on the prior middle school and that failed 3 times.
Yeah.
Because they were not up to fire code.
Let me play devil's advocate for a minute.
Absolutely can.
I believe, it's my own personal belief, that in the past few years that I've been paying attention, we've given voters a Hobson's choice. The last budget that was on the warrant, the difference between the default budget and the proposed budget was like 0.01%. I feel that the voters don't feel that they have a choice. They're given no choice. That's what a Hobson's choice is. It's a choice between 2 negatives. So maybe the spirit of the intent is to give the voters more of a voice in the budgeting process. I don't agree with the approach. I agree with the general comment of the board, which is replacing a failing roof is not a choice that voters, that we should be able to quibble on. But, take a step back and look at the big picture. We're proposing a $42 million budget. When I joined the board, I think it was 38 or 39 million. And again, we've given voters a Hobson's choice. What's the way forward? How do we give voters more of a voice? I don't know. But again, trying to maybe give a different perspective is maybe the budget committee is trying to give the voters a real choice. How they're doing it, I don't agree with, but maybe that's the intent.
Perhaps. I mean, and I do believe, I don't think those things are exclusive, Ken. I think they do want the voters to have real choice. I think we all do. Bob, your budget here wasn't 19,000 less than the default. It was significantly less than the default. What you proposed?
$640,000.
$640,000 less than the default. I haven't seen that since I've been here.
Neither have I.
So I think this.
No, I said the last 3 years. The budget that Tom put forth last year, the difference between the default and the proposed budget was paltry. I mean, it was.
No, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
that's where we're at today. If we propose something better tomorrow, that's great. But I'm just saying maybe that is the spirit of what's going on right now, is that we haven't given voters a choice.
Yeah, no, that's a valid
Yeah.
point.
I agree with what.
I hope that they would see this year's proposed budget as a departure from that in as much as it could be, given given the realities of our contractual obligations, inflation, and all those things. Because 640,000 is quite a bit different from 19,000 in terms of, I think it was $19,000 last year.
The average over the 5 years prior was about around $20,000.
Yeah, $20,000. That's pretty much you're absolutely right. That's a Hobson's choice, 100%. But
I think to your point, I think we're moving away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. So I just want to check in with Marie and Bob. Because you're presenting these warrant articles right now. They do require votes from the board. Do they need to be done tonight? Okay, that's.
Yeah, this was just informative. So
I just wanted to make sure. So this is a,
draft.
Okay.
yeah, total draft.
You know what may be helpful, Marie? If the update that you gave us in the finance meeting tonight, if you could send that to the entire board of all the reserve funds.
Oh, that would be
everybody's aware.
fantastic.
Yeah, I think that would add value. And then maybe over the break, we think about, where those reserve funds are.
Yeah.
And I think Marie, and maybe not the next meeting if you can do it, because I know the holiday's coming, but I think we should be very transparent that we have utilized these funds. And I was very vocal. I think you guys can attest that having reserve funds are great, right? But if they continue to grow and they continue to grow and they continue to grow and you're not using them, then you're just asking people to throw money into a fund so we can get interest. We have strategically utilized these funds to help offset the burdens to the taxpayers, right? Because the money is there. And I think we should probably be, pretty transparent, maybe just give an update on where we spent some of these funds and what they've been spent on.
Yeah.
So we don't have to deal with the people coming up, and no disrespect, because I love people coming up, but people coming up and saying that we save all these funds for year end, and then we do year end spending things on stuff that aren't needs, slush funds. Like, I haven't seen that since I've been here. So we're spending money on roofs, steps to get into the schools, heating units, boilers. I mean, the heart and soul of what you need to run
Sewage piping.
security systems.
Lots of security
water
stuff.
tanks.
Yeah.
Water
Relining
tanks.
water tanks so we have safe drinking water.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
these are all needs of
Yeah.
aging
I think
infrastructure.
I think the biggest maybe cosmetic thing is the track when we redid the track.
Right.
But again, that was something we needed to do for the better.
I mean, run on.
Yes,
asphalt.
the
Yeah.
track was also a legal obligation
Yeah.
because if people go on the track and it's in disrepair, they sue the district.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
So we had a legal obligation.
And I mentioned it in the budget meeting, and I want to mention it again. It was mentioned a bunch of times over the past two budget meetings, the large surplus we had last year as a dog whistle of, oh, look at how much money they're not using. And I want to make it clear to everybody again, this was an anomaly due to certain events that took place in the last calendar year, the school year, and is atypical over, if you look at the last 5-10 years, as we saw on the slides up there. We mentioned in that meeting, mentioned it again tonight. I want to mention it again now. Typically, last year's leftover funds at the end of the year unexpended was larger than normal, and we don't anticipate that being the case moving forward.
All right. So Marie, if you don't mind sending that stuff to the board, that would be amazing. And then I think it would be helpful to your point to be transparent and to make sure that we present that also at the next meeting. So we're very clear about, how we're handling the money.
If you can by the next, because
If you can by the next meeting,
Yeah,
that's too much.
To send you the trust fund.
yeah, no, I mean how we spent some of the capital.
The facility use revolving, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Thank
it's easy to just pull a spreadsheet and I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy or pretty. I mean, we just raw numbers. That's really.
Want you working through Christmas.
Yeah, don't work through Christmas. Just do not do that. Take a break. Everybody needs a break over Christmas. Okay. So then Marie will send us that over. Sounds like she's doing it right now. If board members have thoughts after reviewing about potential warrant article dollar figures, I would recommend sending those to Bob and Marie for them to review ahead of time. And maybe if they collect some information, they could come to us with proposals based on feedback from board members at potentially the next board meeting. Maybe
Sure.
it's the board meeting after, whenever we really have to talk about this stuff. But if we could, if board members want to start sharing feedback with Bob and Marie, I think that could be helpful.
We can clarify that date. And my habit with the draft is always to put in everything.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to cut it out than it is to add it back in. So.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. All right. And we will move on to policies.
Want me to take that?
Want to take that?
I can start. That's as far as we got.
You.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I guess you weren't there but
I can do EBC.
we motioned to move all of them forward.
We moved all of them for first.
All of them for first.
Okay.
As a batch?
Well, we batched them, like, so we did EBCH as itself, JCA, IGA as itself, but then we did all the KECs together and then the IHAM, because they were.
And we felt we didn't really discuss the latter ones because we felt like it needed to be
A larger.
a board. Yeah, it needed to be a board discussion. So I can't really say that aside from like the first two, we didn't really go into a specific. So I don't think that there was any consensus about what we were seeing. We just thought it needed to be a bigger discussion.
So I would like to propose a caution. If that moves forward like that, I don't see the need of a subcommittee if the subcommittee is just going to not review it and move it forward and say that the larger board. That would be like facilities meeting and going, yep, we just want the board to look at all of these things and we're just going to lob everything in here.
I think
Because if those are moved forward, I have a prepared statement that I am prepared to read this evening about how those get moved forward. So if you all want to move all of those forward, that is completely up to you.
Well, I think we moved them forward based on feedback we'd gotten from board members that they wanted to discuss it and they had feedback.
I haven't been asked at all
I don't know
any
what
of the
it is.
policies.
I have no idea about that.
Yeah.
And I think just to be fair, I normally will, in that meeting, I'll go through the policy and the changes.
Mhm.
We did get through EBCH, at which point I kind of came out to see what was going on in the other meeting that was happening at the same time. And it seemed obvious that I needed to be there as opposed to being in the committee. So they were a little bit left without the guidance that I normally hope to provide in that particular meeting. So
then would it make sense?
I, for one, I speak for myself.
Yep.
I voted to move them forward because I had specific questions related to the origin of these changes, which were not able to be answered by the subcommittee. They needed Bob.
Okay. Then was that because,
To debate it, to discuss it, I need to know the origin of these changes.
Right.
For
So
example, usually we reference an RSA, a piece of legislation govening the changes. There were none in some of them. So
and we weren't
there are a
able
lot
to
of
get
them-
that information because Bob wasn't there, correct? Okay.
Correct.
So then,
We kind of felt like we didn't really have much of a.
so then instead of bringing them all to the board tonight, why don't we bring them back to the policy subcommittee, have Bob go through them with you guys so you can make good recommendations to the board, and then bring them back for a first read. Is that okay?
Warren, I can speak
Debated
for
on.
myself. I felt a little like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
the
and
whole
that,
meeting just went sideways for
yeah, and
many
it,
reasons.
there were a few
It
things
was
that
just
happened.
A
tonight.
perfect storm of
Okay, so then if you all went through EBCH and have a recommendation for the board,
I have questions.
okay.
I'm gonna take them one at a time.
Did you all, I think if you want to, so you were there for EBCH, correct?
yes, we
Yeah.
did have one question on that.
Did,
we did have one question.
okay, so then if you have a question and need to review it, then why don't we hold on that until you get your answer?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay.
And if people have specific questions really ever about a policy thing as you're reading through them, it's super helpful to know that ahead of time.
Okay.
Because then I can come and I can really take a look at that.
I would send them editable then, so that way we can actually cut and paste and do that stuff. And when they're not editable, like it's very difficult.
Well, can you comment on it if it's not?
Yeah, I can.
So you
Open
cannot
for
make
comment.
them open to comment because then that.
Oh,
could
because then it's a
considered
meeting.
If the
That's right.
board is all able to comment. So
Make it
you
editable.
can't do
That's
that.
it.
But I think if you follow up with specific questions, then it gives me the ability to be a little.
Oh yeah, I don't mean having a shared document open for comment. I mean individual.
Oh, yes.
Send it so it's not editable. So you can't, like, if Bob gets 17 things with track changes back, it's going to be difficult.
Right.
Versus comment bubbles referencing certain things that he can reconcile on his own.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can write them up or let me know, in section 5K, I have a concern about this language. Where does this come from?
Yep. Okay.
It's really helpful. And sometimes I've read it, over a couple hours, I've read it 17 times and it becomes a little bit of a blur and I don't see it the way somebody putting fresh eyeballs on it does. Because I'm spending my time trying to figure out the edit format as well.
Okay.
Which I'm trying to change a little bit to make it more clear to you guys as to what the changes are actually that are coming through.
All right. So then if we're still waiting for, if there are still questions on EBCH that you did get to go over with Bob and Bob was not there to review the rest of them with you, then would the policy subcommittee be okay with tabling these and taking them back to policy for review to come back? Okay.
Much better meeting than what we had.
Okay.
tonight.
Fantastic. Then why don't we do that? We'll hold, table all of these. We'll let you go through, do your due diligence. And then, yes.
And if I could provide one comment and one request.
Mhm.
So my first comment is, Bob, this is going to be directed to you, please. So the request that we have been communicating about the process that the school district utilizes to purchase books, and there being no process that the school district uses to purchase books, the answer to that question is not creating an addendum to a policy to get around that. So make sure that the answer that I've requested now for 6 weeks about the process that our district utilizes to purchase books, I have had zero response to the process. There is no process that you have shared with me, and you have made it clear that we do not have one. So I don't find it surprising that the KEC policies are in here for complete rewrites. The question is not a complaint about something we already have. What I've asked of you is, what is the policy to purchase new books? So I'm not interested in figuring out what to do afterwards. I'm interested in how we get them into the district. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the question I would like answered, not what was thrown in there. Okay. This is not good. So I'm glad the subcommittee has decided to go the route that they did. And the request to the subcommittee will be this. And we have spared a whole thing here tonight. So I think it's a wise decision. So I would like to, we are in the final stages of selecting our next superintendent. I would respectfully request that the policy subcommittee not propose reviews and edits of board policies specific to adjusting superintendent duties prior to the arrival of the district's new superintendent. So that would be my request. So let's not change all sorts of duties and responsibilities for superintendents when we're just in the final process of selecting one. That is my respectful request to the subcommittee. Thank you.
I think just for clarification.
I need a clarification.
Yeah, you're just saying as long as it's not required by.
Required by law.
That is correct. That is correct.
Are those two things related? Is there a subtext that I'm missing on that?
So
Of-
KEC is complaints about instruction.
Yeah.
Well, that I'm aware, but what does that have to do with the superintendent?
Because I believe.
But it changes the roles and responsibilities.
Everything.
It gives it to the superintendent.
Completely changes.
Okay,
yes.
those are the dots that need
Yeah.
connected.
So I think we should probably not dive too deep into that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I ended where I did.
Okay.
Yep. Out of respect for everybody.
Okay.
My only comment to Jeremiah is policies should be independent of who's sitting in that seat.
Can you repeat that, Ken?
The policy should be independent of who is sitting in the seat.
I agree with.
Whether or not we give authority to a superintendent should be
Yeah.
independent of who's sitting in the seat. That's my only comment.
And I completely agree with that. So to clarify, what I'm saying is that we should not all of a sudden today give the interim superintendent completely new roles and responsibilities by adjusting a policy. If they already have the duties, you're absolutely correct, Ken. We should not be administering new duties out of thin air to an interim superintendent as we are in the final stages.
I think we're getting a little,
Well, no, but that's an important point.
yes,
I'd like to.
but I think we need to be.
I would like to respond to that in principle. It's got nothing to do with KEC. We should, I think I disagree with that in the sense that we should administer whatever duties are required to whoever is the superintendent at any time to best serve students and the law. The fact that we're in the process of finding a new one shouldn't impact whether or not we make the decision to move responsibilities to one part of our administration or another.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, there's a number of things that to Dawn's point, I think we should probably stop the conversation because I don't disagree with you and I don't disagree with you, but there's a lot of stuff in these policies and there's a lot of things missing. There's a lot of things about curriculum. There's a lot of things about people that should be involved. So,
I'll stop there, Don.
yeah, I think we should.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Can I just clarify one thing? That we do have a policy about library materials, and maybe I didn't share that with you, which is IJL, which the board approved in 2024, July of 2024. That would be the guiding way that that library materials are chosen, and that would be the policy that I believe we're following at this point. I don't have a reason to believe otherwise.
Okay. So that's my question though, right? So you believe we're following it, but you're not sure. So the question is,
Let me say it differently. We've put forward one order for materials this year, and it did follow that policy.
Right. And you were going to speak with librarians, and that hasn't happened yet, right?
I've had a difficult time connecting with them, and
completely understand
the budget process, so that will happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I know school board goals is on here. I think I missed that when I reviewed the agenda because we did already authorize those. So if the board is okay with that, we'll skip right over. Phyllis just has them typed up a little bit cleaner. Yeah. Oh, for updates. Yes, you're right. Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, no, that's very good.
That is,
I think you and Rick had requested
we did.
updates
Yep.
for both the goals
Yep.
and.
Okay, I saw just the goals in there, so I was talking about, but we don't really have any updates yet because we just
got started.
Implemented them.
Been made public yet.
Phyllis, did those? Yes, I thought so. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right.
What you did miss, since we're on school board goals, is Dr. Brown brought up that we don't have a school board goal about closing schools within the district. You did miss that.
Yes, I did hear that. And
Was brought up.
that was
In a manner of speaking.
essentially,
Oh, wow.
that should
It
be.
was under the guise of building utilization.
And I believe I heard something, and I don't want to quote out of turn, but I believe I heard something like culture may not be that important. It's more important about the schools and shutting them down. I may be paraphrasing.
we'll have to go watch the video.
I really look forward to watching that more.
All right. So,
Just one question on goals. I can put those in the announcements that I do every week for the
oh,
meeting?
that would be fantastic if you
Sounds
want to
good.
do an update on that. Yeah, thank
No
you.
problem.
All right.
Every once in a while.
Yeah,
Super.
well, I'm sorry. Some of the goals are going to require Christine to
Right,
present.
some of them will, yes. Yeah, there will be some that will.
Goals on here that require Christine to present on retention and, exit interviews and stuff like that.
I know she's already started on the exit interviews.
Yeah.
She's done a couple already.
Yeah. Okay.
So Bob will report out on whatever he can report out on, and then we'll get report up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Necessary. So, thank you, Phyllis, for keeping that as a standing agenda. I do appreciate that. And now I am following the logic there. So thank you. All right, superintendent search update, Rick.
Oh, yeah. You all have a printout of the dates.
Mhm.
We haven't made this public yet because there's only one date that we lock down. For the final interviews with the school board, 33 candidates. We either need to decide on 210 or 211. So I don't know if you can answer that tonight, but
What are those days of the week?
Monday and Tuesday for 210 and 211.
Gross.
The 5th and 6th, I believe, are Thursday, Friday, 10, 11.
Yep.
10, 11, or Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, it's Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, because that's
Are
February.
we
Oh.
expecting to
February.
take
Yeah.
4 full days off, or are we looking at, like, I just know for me personally, for my
Yep.
I have a new position at
Mhm.
work. I can't take 4 days off in a 2-week span. Are we looking at maybe some afternoons, some evenings? What are they,
Yeah.
like, what are we?
2-5 and 2-6 will be full days.
Okay, and then 210 or 2.
2-10 or 2-11, I can definitely ask about like evenings, so it should only be 3 people. But I just need a date. But
Oh.
I'll ask about the evenings.
2-5 and 2. That's Wednesday, Thursday.
That's Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday, or 2-5.
5, 2, 6. Yep.
What? Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're looking at February.
we're in 2026.
2-5 and 2-6 are both days, so that's not an or.
Yeah.
The or is 2-10 or 2-11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just, I'm in the same boat as Heather. I'm really gonna struggle with taking those days because I have other dates that I already have off for other obligations in March and April, and I don't really have days left. So those are gonna be difficult to take off full days. If we could do like 2 to 7 or something like that,
2 to 7 on what days?
like the 5th and 6th.
I won't be able to make the 6th at all.
Okay.
Yep. I can do the 5th all day.
Yeah, I think just so you know, like these are the dates. So
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
The 11th.
you know, it's beneficial for everybody to be there.
Yep.
Right.
This is the agenda we agreed to.
Yep.
The 11th is preferable for me. 2-11.
Okay. You don't have to answer tonight.
Oh,
I'm typing you an email right now.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic.
You know my answer. I'm typing it.
Yeah.
So you have it
Okay.
in writing.
Yeah. And so you want me to ask about
All right,
2
I'll send
to
it.
7 p.m.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah. The 11th, I think it's 11th.
To be at the State House on the 10th.
Yep. So the
Oh,
11th is
Massachusetts.
preferable for most of us.
Fancy.
Okay.
No, not fancy.
As I'm typing.
I have
can't
to-
do 2-11.
Public hearing.
Oh, no.
Make sure they.
Yeah. And it is a commitment, right? Like I put in for vacation time, right? Like, for me with Caleb still in school and stuff, and I think it's important for me to be here, right? But like, I get it. Everybody, your new job, and you want to spend time with your family and stuff. So it's a commitment. I didn't expect everybody to be at everything, and it's hard because we're on this accelerated schedule.
Yeah.
Right.
Question: are these going to be recorded, or can they be?
No, they're
Is that
interviews.
illegal?
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it just
yeah. I know.
I'm in the part of the like I exist in an environment where it's like, oh, I'm gonna miss a meeting. Don't worry, it's okay. It'll be recorded on tape.
Yeah.
I shared this.
This is illegal though. Okay.
Tentative. I shared this with Sam Holson and who am I thinking of?
Megan
Megan Doggett. I said because they want to sort of get some meetings prior to 2:15. And just quickly, because I haven't made this public yet, and once we land on that date, I'll get it to Phyllis. But for the public, 2-5 and 2-6 is. I apologize. Let me jump back. We listed the position on 12/5. The position is open until January 11th, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. That's a Sunday. January 26th, Zeal is going to present the board with 8 to 10 candidates. There's a board interview operation and process. This will include like a 90-second video of the candidate paper presentation. And then we can sort of whittle that 8 to 10 down to 3 candidates that we really want to do face-to-face interviews with. Now, just taking a step back, these are already pre-screened candidates. So they're giving us 8 to 10 candidates that fit the profile that hopefully everybody's had a chance to review, right? Based upon the surveys and the interactions. And so they're whittling through those, the many applicants that they're going to get. They're going to say, here's 8 to 10 that fit the profile for the Sanborn school.
And will Zeal be here in person?
Yeah, Zeal will be here in person.
Okay.
Yep.
Should we be here in person with them as well?
The 26th.
Oh, I apologize. The 26th we can do remotely. All right. So because there's that's just Zeal presenting us the 8 to 10 candidates. That meeting can take, and I just want to be honest, Jeff said it could take, depending upon questions, it could take anywhere from 1 hour to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So it all depends on how deep we want to get. Right. So that could be remote. And then 2526 is a semifinal interviews with the school board. Hopefully 5 to 7 candidates over 2 days that will be in person. 210 or 211 is the date we're trying to lock down for the finalist interviews. That will be the final 2 to 3 candidates. And then on Sunday, February 15th, and I know it's the day after Valentine's Day, but because of the winter break scheduled for February 21st and the 28th, that's going to be a meet and greet with the finalist candidates, most likely be out here in high school. The candidates will be in separate rooms and they'll have rotating groups that'll come in and meet with them. They'll present 30 minutes and they'll conduct, any Q&A sessions with community members. The board will solicit feedback through a survey of the attendees from those communities, from the people that actually show up. There'll be another survey that you can fill out and give us some input. And then we'll use that information to help us select the next superintendent. But I just want to be very clear. The ultimate decision of the next superintendent is with this board. We have been very transparent. I know when the last superintendent was hired, I had nothing to do with it and knew nothing about it until the person was in the seat. So I think this board has operated in full transparency. We're giving multiple avenues for feedback and input. And we value it. We value the people that have done that. We encourage more people to get engaged. So there's going to be another opportunity to do the meet and greet and hope. And then we're scheduled to make a decision on March 9th, 2026. And that's primarily, I think we discussed at the last meeting because elections are up. And we felt that the board members that are currently on this board sort of own this decision.
Thank you for
the update.
spearheading
Yeah, no worries.
this all.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
I appreciate it.
No, you guys responded quickly. It's really helped. So appreciate it.
All right. Okay. So we will move to second public comment.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. My name's Scott Rollins. I'm from Newton. I do not have any students in this district. I've been attending the school board meetings now since about March of this year. And to say I'm slightly disappointed in the engagement from the public is probably an understatement. You guys are here every week, putting in time, doing things on your time off, actively engaged and trying to do a better job at what you're doing. And I appreciate that. And I want to say thank you to the school board. But the public has got to be engaged. We have to be more aggressive about asking questions, more aggressive about being part of the process. When I came in March, it was very aggressive. And I'm sure you guys all remember those meetings. There were police escorts at the door and 30, 40, 50 people here. But there have been meetings where myself and one other person are sitting in the audience. Now, I don't know who's watching on camera. That doesn't, I don't see that. There might be 100 people watching and participating. But I feel like you guys are doing a lot of work to try to get the public engaged, but the public has to be engaged. You guys have to come here, see what's going on, talk to the people, and get involved. If you don't get involved and then you complain that your tax dollars are being spent unwisely, that's on you. It's not on the school board. It's not on the people sitting in this room. You've got to get involved. You've got to be engaged. So this isn't necessarily a public comment toward the school board. This is a public comment toward the public. Get involved in this community. Help this school board make a better place for teachers, for students, for learning, for academics, for extracurricular activities. It's all important. For rooftop units, lighting, all of these things have to happen. And the school board is doing the best job that they can, but they need everybody's involvement. So with that, I just want to say thank you for what you guys have done, what you're continuing to do. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and a great New Year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. I think what's most important, Scott, real quick, is real I'll speak for myself. Like I sit here and I don't have all the answers. And the questions from the public help us rethink our thought process and say, yeah, I didn't think about that. Like Sam Olson has brought up a lot of great points, you know, she's here every week. And Megan and Sam are, you know, they're getting that focus group together, right? So that's a great avenue for people to come out and get engaged. But the questions that people ask really help us rethink our process. Nobody has all the answers, you know.
It's nice to have outside perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, when you, I mean, essentially live in it, you know, I mean, even though we're not working here every day, I mean, we're so deep into it sometimes that a simple question can trigger us to go, oh, I hadn't thought about that. So it's really important.
Person board and you're trying to make decisions for hundreds and thousands of people and tax dollars and millions of dollars. It's, yeah, the more people you can have involved, the better. So I encourage everybody to get involved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Your turn. Sorry.
Marcus Harold, Kingston, 2 kids at Bakey. Just more of a question for the 215, the meet and greet for the public.
Oh,
That
yeah.
could be an open door, or is it more like a sign up type deal?
Yeah,
Or is it-
I'll get some more information on that. My initial conversation with Jeff from Zeal was open door, just based upon, and he felt comfortable with that, based upon the participation levels that he saw. Because Jeff was actually here for the public meetings, meeting with both towns, the engagement of the virtual meetings. He felt that it could be just a sort of a walk-in, but I'll confirm that before we publish.
Okay.
Good question.
And would that be something that kids could come to as well, or should we more?
Yeah, I'll ask that question too.
Okay.
I don't want to give he's an expert.
Yeah.
His opinion is he's done this a lot. So I'll ask the question.
Right. That's just for us planning on
Yeah.
coming whether or not we gotta get a babysitter or not. So.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, that
Oh.
is I don't know if this is where you're going with, but in the past,
the Key
we've
Club
had
or
families,
someone
the
has
Key Club
has done
has watched kids
childcare for
there.
us.
Yeah.
We could look into that.
Well, I apologize.
Well,
You were asking, can the kids come and somebody watch, or are you saying, can the kids come and attend?
He was just thinking logistically for him.
To attend the meeting just because of a babysitter.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
yeah. Get a baby.
yeah.
So I didn't get that until he was.
I got it now.
Until he walked away, it clicked in my head.
So you're saying,
Okay.
yeah, we should probably
So
have.
That's
We'll reach out to Key Club and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Student Council and see if someone can.
Well, no, it's a
It's a
good
good
point.
idea.
It's a good.
It would be a
It's
great
good idea.
thing to offer to
Yeah.
increase
It would be a
participation.
good motivator. I know.
Yep.
Because we've had Key Club at deliberate session. We've had
Yes.
Key Club- Like
I mean,
we've
hey.
had babysitting and other events.
Parents may
Because
just wanna get a
parents
break.
want to be able to come and, you know, it's always been like, okay, I'll go to this one, you go to the next, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
Key Club would be free, so.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I think Scott has a side business of.
All right.
Put it on a war.
But we forget, Dan.
Okay, since I always have terrible news,
Oh, God.
Oh,
I got some
God.
good news for
He's
you.
just left.
Oh, he has good news. He has good
So
news.
I have good news. So hold
I was
your
gonna say,
thought.
I swear I see the Grim Reaper every time he.
I know.
No
Gloom and
offense.
gloom. I get
I
it.
love you.
Walks in the envelope.
I just got the test results for our water here at the high school. Remember a year ago, I applied for a grant for a PFAS filtration system here?
Yeah.
Well, it was installed last week. We just had our final water test and I just got the results and it's passing in flying colors. I was told that we are the first high school in New Hampshire to have this federal grant PFAS system installed in our school and up and running. So New Hampshire DES called me and said, you're rocking, we got it going here. And I just want to let everybody know that they said that we probably have the cleanest water in southern New Hampshire here.
Good job, Dan. Way to go.
Rest assured, we've got clean water here and things are moving along in that direction. And it was a $32,000 grant that you guys approved and money well spent. And I appreciate your help in supporting that grant. So
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dan.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
for the hard work.
Yeah.
Good news.
Good news. Woo!
Merry Christmas.
The only one who thought he was coming up to tell us something. Grim Reaper. Bakey or
Something
I
broke.
swear to God, you
From those rooftop units.
did the like,
Gym
you
floor.
look sad
The
for
coil. He was just trying to fake us out.
sucker bet.
All right, if there's no further comment, next meeting of the Sanborn Regional School Board will be held on Wednesday, January 14th, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the library at the Sanborn.
2026.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy. In the library at the Sanborn Regional High School. The filing period for positions on the Sanborn Regional School Board, Sanborn Regional Budget Committee, and District Moderator will open on Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, and end on Friday, January 30th, 2026 at 5 p.m. The candidate filing forms may be obtained at the SAU 17 Central Office at 51 Church Street in Kingston. The school district clerk, Phyllis over there, will be available on the last day to file until 5 p.m. The next meeting of the Sanborn Regional Budget Committee will be held on, well, potentially, I don't know, they were talking tonight about finding another date. The next scheduled Budget Committee meeting is set for Thursday, January 8th, 2026 at 7 p.m. right here in the library at the Sanborn Regional High School.
One question.
Yeah.
No, we can
Yeah,
adjourn.
There's another meeting.
Yeah.
And then the Sanborn Regional Budget Committee will hold their public hearing on Thursday, January 15th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the auditorium at the Sanborn Regional High School. Call us. So
Make a motion.
Yeah,
to
I don't
move us
think.
into non-public RSA 91-A (3) Roman numeral 2 A B C E I L K.
Okay.
And just for the record, my question isn't for non-public, so I won't bring it up in non-public.
Okay.
It's a public question, but I'm gonna wait.
Okay. Yeah.
I can rescind my motion.
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
We have a second.
Oh, second. Yeah.
We gotta go.
thank you, Rick. All right. So second from Rick. So we will roll call in. Ken, we'll start with you.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
I am a yes. Rick.
Yes.
Maura.
Yes.
Micah.
Yes.
Jeremiah.
Yes.
Okay. We'll take a quick 5-minute break.